You know there's a problem when you're producing one of these. The government's guide on, frankly, how not to rape, although they've put it more politely and called it Understanding Behaviours and Expectations in the UK, a guide for asylum seekers. In my view, the government's admission that, Houston, we have a problem. It opens with a lovely welcome, an explainer about living in the UK, and there's a helpline if you don't understand or need help. Presumably they've printed this in numerous languages, as we well know that many who arrive can't speak English. Page 3 is about gender equality, explaining that men and women have equal rights and that women can work, study, travel and marry who they want and make decisions. And guess what? They do not need the permission of a man. Well, that's heartwarming to know that they, the government, are aware that many of these people come from environments that are intolerant to women. It goes on to explain domestic abuse and state that it is a serious crime in the UK. Well, who knew? So the government are aware that some of these men, and it is mainly men, potentially have a problem treating women with respect, because the next section is about sex and consent and what is expected of them when they are here. Again, this is clearly targeted at male asylum seekers. The final main section before the helpline numbers is about taking photos and videos, and it makes very clear that it is a crime to take and share sexual images without consent. Wow. Now, asylum seekers have sought refuge in this country for decades, and at no point do I recall ever hearing or seeing a guide like this. So why now? Well, in my view, that's because the number of migrants seeking asylum, and in particular those who have come via small boat, are disproportionately represented when it comes to sex crimes. Nobody wants to openly admit it. When people are challenged, this is usually the response.
The fact is, the route of entry into this country, whether someone's born here or come here legally or illegally, where's the data that tells us you're more or less likely to be a rapist? It's not, but you're telling me there's data to show.
There is data to show that
so we famously have no data on arrivals, and yet we do have data on the propensity to commit rape.
Let me explain.
That's absolutely
very quickly. See, don't chuck the argument at me that we have our own paedophiles and rapists. I know that. I also know that not all asylum seekers are bad. I know this too. But I am sick and tired of being gaslit when, in my view, this booklet is an admission that there is a problem with many male asylum seekers. So, was creating a book like this a mistake? A question that was put by our very own Camilla Tominey to Labour backbencher Graham Downey MP this morning.
Do you think that the leaflet was a mistake in hindsight?
No, I mean, there's any number of government publications that come out, so no, I don't think it's a mistake to do these kind of things at all. The action that's important is on the other end of it, where people commit crimes, that we are taking the right action, we're taking it quickly. We're, as I say, we're removing the barriers to deporting people out of this country where they commit criminal offences. This government has already deported over 10,000 people already. That's more than any government in the past has managed to do.
Sure.
That's something we'll continue to do.
Stop the boats, please, because we are fed up.